My fiance is 10 times hotter than every single stripper that we're gonna get.
No. Hello. Yikes. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. That's what I get for being bad mind. That is what I get for being bad mind. Yeah, the Lord was about to take me out. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing No. What show is this? Love is Blind. Season 4, episode 11. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. That was a tough intro. My gosh. Okay. So Chelsea is upset with Kwame. When is she not? Because potentially she will not be getting his last name. And Kwame is saying that without his mother's blessing, he doesn't feel comfortable doing so.
I don't take your name until you're able to speak to your mother. I respect and understand the situation with your mom, but we've been side by side the whole time. I think we will need support of our family.
Yeah.
But falling in love with you in the pods was one of the most sacred, beautiful things I ever got to do.
Honey, love is Chelsea because Chelsea is blind. Wow. It's insane. It is insane how much she bypasses what she sees, what she hears, and is like, love him. How? Off of what? I don't understand. As for the last name thing, every last name is inherited by the man of the household unless you deliberately choose to give yourself a last name. So I don't know why the mama has to be on board for that to happen, but okay, it wasn't her name to begin with, but let's move on. Chelsea being frustrated at Kwame saying that the first year of marriage is going to be hard. Statistically, that is the truth. The first year is the hardest because there are so many adjustments that need to happen. Getting used to each other, getting used to family, role setting, all that kind of stuff. It's tough. It is tough. That, and then the first 7 years. You know, they say once you get through the first 7, hey. Well, actually, is it that you get through the first 7 or that at the 7th year, things can kind of plateau and then that's what has the whole 7-year itch? I'm not sure about that, but I do know that the first year is statistically the hardest. But anyways, I do understand her frustration because you would want somebody to walk into marriage thinking, this is the honeymoon stage. We're going to have a great time. Everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows. But the reality is that's not the case. So at this point, you would think Bliss and Zach have worked through their pre-wedding, I don't even know, discourse. Let's just call it discourse. But no, here goes Bliss yet again.
In my decision making, if I don't just commit, I'll never make a decision.
You were engaged to someone else, then we got engaged. Well, I'm not concerned about you looking at anyone else. It's more about concerning about I'm making this decision. But I don't want someone to be just committed to me because they made a decision to.
Bliss says she doesn't like that Zach said how long the experiment was. And then even when he was talking to the mom, she didn't like that he was bringing up her being second place. I'm like, Bliss, baby, at least you've got to commend the man for wanting to start the relationship off, and the relationship with your parents, not just with you, off with honesty. Why fabricate? They're going to find out at some point. Why start with lies? That didn't make sense to me. I feel like there was a point where she said, I'd have to watch it back. I'm not sure. But I feel like there's a point where she said she doesn't want him to choose her. Hold on. She didn't want him to marry her just because he chose her or something. I don't know. And I'm like, but girl, love is a choice. I know the whole Love is Blind cast is trying to do this whole love begins where logic ends. Maybe let's not do that because that's how these divorces happen and these abusive relationships happen. We need to put in some logic. And he has thought it through, I would assume, and he has made the decision to follow through with you on top of having those in love feelings. That's what you want. You want the serendipity and the romance and all that stuff, but you also want the critical thinking to say, this is my partner and here are the reasons why. Girl, maybe I misheard you, but if that's what you said, you out of line for that because that didn't make no sense to me. Tiffany meets Brett's dad and brother. It makes absolute sense why Brett is the way that he is because his father, absolute sweetheart.
How much did you pay a beautiful woman like that? So he just became very captivating, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I think you guys made a good connection, you know?
I think so too.
I loved hearing both Brett and Tiffany just validate their relationship over and over and over again. It's not like hearing these other couples, well, we have this pitfall and that pitfall. And even if they don't name the pitfalls, it feels like they're sugarcoating the relationship. These two, I feel it all the way. I feel the genuinity. Let's go with that. All the way, the authenticity, all the way. I just feel it. Tiffany shared that she had a similar money story growing up and that, you know, she's not from a well-off family, so she understands Brett's upbringing. She also says that she grew up from a very expressive household, so saying how you feel is not foreign to her. And Brett is saying that in the short time being with Tiffany, he's adopted that as well. I love it. I've definitely seen the transformation, unless he was fronted, but I don't think that he was. I've definitely seen the transformation in Brett from being that person who's like afraid of maybe being overly affectionate and really diving into the feelings of love and the actions of love. But throughout this season, he's just been going from strength to strength, been more and more sure of himself, more and more sure of his connection with Tiffany. Love this for them. So we got to talk about Micah and Paul just because they're in the process. But so right now they're preparing to separate, and Micah's going to stay in the Netflix apartment and Paul's going to go to his apartment before the wedding. I'm watching these two and I feel nothing.
I feel like I have way more clothes than Adam.
I'm rubbing off on you. Now you have all this stuff.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like you're like so handsome.
Oh, I hope so.
You hope so?
Yeah.
Well, love you.
Yeah, love you too.
So I was listening to a clip from After the Pods, which is Natalie and I want to say Deep D. Natalie and Deep D's podcast, and they were talking about this season. And Natalie was saying she feels like Micah and Paul are doing the same thing that she and Shane did, where they tried to present as this perfect couple on camera. Failed, but we're having so many arguments behind the scenes, and they didn't want to showcase that on camera because in the future, if the kids were to watch the show, she didn't want that to be the image that was portrayed. I can buy that. I can buy that because something about these two feels like there's things under the surface that they continuously tried to bury. And even the later scenes that we see about them, it's these contrived moments of look at us making rings together, look at us getting along with the family. And I'm like, it's not real. I would have rather y'all had that stretched out sad moment with Tiffany and whatever. I would have rather y'all seen that because at least I can see the genuine stress from that woman. With the Micah and Paul situation, they're really trying to come off like this perfect, prim and proper couple, and it's like, you don't have to do that. I know the internet is going to crucify people. Netflix is going to skew and edit and stuff like that. So you want to present yourself the best way possible, but you also want people to buy into your relationship. We want to see the real. We want to see the struggle. And as much as we criticize it a lot, I'd still like to see it. So them trying to come off as too perfect, I don't like it. Brett and Tiffany is different because I actually believe that they're damn near perfect for each other. But these two, it's a farce. It's time for the Bachelor/Bachelorette parties, and we finally get to see some people from Kwame's camp.
How you doing, baby? I knew. Oh, hey, what the fuck is going on here? Hold on. All right. I can't look too long. You know what I'm saying?
So I saw some of your comments down below saying sometimes people live far and can't make it, and the dress fitting isn't even that important. I hear all of that. And I empathize for people who had to proceed with weddings and weren't able to have family around. That's actually very difficult. Listen, I'm not even getting married, and not having my family around is difficult. I completely understand. The reason why for me I felt like it was kind of fraudulent though is because Kwame lives one state over. And the states, from state to state, if you just share one border, it's not that far. It's depending on the state, obviously, but it's not that far. Like for us in Canada, to get from Ontario just to the next province over, it's about a full day's, even more, depending on what route you take, drive, where that doesn't have to be the case in the States. You know, that's number one. Number two, I recently, for you guys who know that I was in Guyana and Trinidad earlier this year, we went for a wedding. And the three of us who traveled together, we had not met actually, let me not speak for them. Let me speak for myself. I had not met the wife. I was going to support my friend, you know? So it's like you pull up for your people and they couldn't come over from one state. I don't know. It just wasn't making sense to me. Anyways, what happened? Oh, I literally wrote, this is the most painful bachelor party I've ever seen. Yeah, I don't blame them for being disinterested. So were we. This was not giving last night of singledom. No. So Chelsea has finally confirmed that Kwame's mom is not with the program because Chelsea is not a Ghanaian woman.
Have you met her?
No.
Have you talked to her at all?
His mom would prefer for him to, marry a traditionally Ghanaian woman.
So we've been speculating, like, is it the process that she doesn't like, or is it the woman that was chosen that she doesn't like? And Chelsea's confirming that it is the fact that she is white and not Ghanaian. Problem is, the internet did what the internet does, and they looked into Kwame's brother's wife, who was also a Caucasian. So I don't know. It's not making sense unless the brother and the mom have an estranged relationship too, which it doesn't sound like it from this episode. Then I don't know why they're going with this story. Again, it's giving fraud. I don't know what to tell you guys. It's giving fraud. Brett, as we know, has shared that in the past, being in love or showing love, expressing love has been a struggle for him. But in being in a relationship with Tiffany, that is now coming easy to him because he loves Tiffany.
So how many times have you been in love before this?
I honestly feel that we're on the same page. I don't want to come across like, oh yeah, of course she's going to say yes.
That's healthy.
I feel that she is.
It's so funny seeing these two have these like, will they, won't they, we know they will. And I'm just like, y'all, come on. Like, if the edit was to go the way that it did for these two not to get married, that would have been the biggest upset in Netflix history. Because ain't no way these two are saying no. Ain't no way. Now, are they still married today? That is the question. That is the question. But I'm going to hedge my bets. No, I think that means that you're changing your... Yeah. So I'm going to... If I was to hedge my bets, I would still say they're going to make it. When Paul is explaining his relationship, he reminds me of the smart guy in the movie, like in a detective movie or something like that, who's like, I'm hatching into the mainframe, breach the database, retrieving the secret. Like, the way that he's breaking down this relationship, I'm like, he's not joking about being analytical.
To make a lifelong commitment based on the amount of data that I have would accrue just a tremendous amount of risk.
If you feel it, you feel it, you know?
Yeah. And that's the thing, is I think that I do.
So where's my fucking phone? I need to talk to Paul. Do you miss me or do you love me?
I don't know what the fuck she's saying.
How much do you love me? Go. Not enough. You crazy bitch.
Listen, the man has broken down the formula and Micah fits right into it. I think your formula is flawed. Anyways, Micah is a personification of white girl wasted. She's talking to Shelby, and Shelby is still saying like, Paul isn't the right fit for you. You deserve better. You deserve the world. And I'm like, girl, put down the liquor. Put it down. You've had enough. Okay. I don't know if it's the liquor. I don't know what it is. But when this girl is inebriated and she talks about Paul, it is just so annoying. And then when she's sober, she's Paul's biggest fan. Like, Micah, I'm not the biggest fan of you, but we need to do a separate show for you to get some better friends. We need you to get some new friends. Okay? I don't know if it's your judgment that's off or it's the people who just gravitate towards you, but something is wrong and we need to help you out. As Kwame and Chelsea are preparing for their wedding, there's a lot of pessimism still coming from Mr. Kwame. A lot. You hear Chelsea, talking about it's like jumping off of a cliff in a whirlwind romance where we catch each other in each other's arms. And then Kwame is like, yeah, we jumping off a cliff with no parachute. We're going to crash and burn into the Earth's core. Damn.
I have been preparing my whole life to marry a man like Kwame.
If I'm going to be single, I might just book a flight to Vegas after this. We jump off of a cliff and don't have a parachute, don't have a safety net, nothing works, and then we implode.
I know that they're trying to give us this will they, won't they storyline, right? It's just that the way that Kwame speaks, it's like he's literally in the sunken place. And I'm just like, storyline or not, are you okay? Are you okay? If you were under duress, just let us know. I'm scared. I'm really scared for this man. He's making it seem like he's going into bondage and like it's Stockholm syndrome or something. He can't leave his kidnapper or something. I don't know. And then you have like, you have her saying that he's been grappling with the idea of marriage throughout the process, and that's why he's like wishy-washy from time to time. But I'm sorry, if you came into a process where potentially at the end of a few weeks you would be proposing to somebody and the end of a few more weeks you'd be married, you should have been prepared beforehand. The people are not taking marriage seriously these days. I mean, obviously not if there's shows like this, but people are not taking marriage seriously these days because it is not now when you are with a person that you are engaged to that you want to say, marriage is actually difficult. Marriage is actually a big commitment. It is before you even propose to this person that you run through, okay, am I prepared for this? Is my life situated in a way where I can bring somebody in or I can be an addition to somebody's life? Will I be pulling this person down? Am I financially stable for this? Like, thinking caps. Let's put them on. It is not now that he should be grappling with whether or not he should get married. He should have done that before he came on the show. And then that even makes me think, why was he going on Married at First Sight if he wasn't ready even then? Because he's only just getting ready now. Oh no. Fraudulent. Fraudulent. Kwame's siblings arrive and they are saying that, hey, mom ain't got your back. We already know that. But everybody else, including dad, who apparently didn't know. So weird. Everybody else supports you.
I've raised you right. I spoke to dad.
Dad knows?
Yeah, he's excited, bro.
He's happy for you.
He's excited.
Mama's into prayer. So even if she's not here, she's praying for you.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to be the language police. I don't want to be the speech police, the tone police, nothing like that. I just find it interesting how Kwame does not sound like his siblings. As somebody who was made fun of a lot of times growing up, saying that I sounded white, I sounded white more so when I was reading. But that's growing up in the English school system. They force you to read proper or whatever. So I don't want to police that. I've been through it. I know it's annoying. But I'm like, weren't you raised with your siblings? Why don't you sound like them? They sound like the typical black, oh gosh, here I am tone policing. They sound like the typical black American people. And you sound like something else. If they all sounded like that, then I'd be like, oh, I see where Kwame, where it comes from. Let me leave it, because, you know, I'm touching on something that I should not be touching on. Kwame's sister, I'm sad I didn't get her name, because I don't want to keep calling her Kwame's sister. She finally meets Chelsea. They've met, I think they've met over the phone. I think. But anyways, they meet in person, and they both get really emotional.
Oh, this must be Kwame's sister.
Yes.
Look at
all
you.
of this for Chelsea.
Look at
Our
you.
Chelsea.
Oh my God, you're so
Can we
beautiful.
share her? You know about the Kente cloth?
Yes.
Yeah, so you have a piece of Ghana with you.
I'm so happy you came and sacrificed to be here for us today.
I'm happy to be here.
The fact that this is the only African touch in the wedding, the only African touch, and the sister's attire. That's it. There's no incorporation of Kwame's culture at all. The wedding was stunning, but there's nothing African inspired. Nothing. Damn. Damn. Anyways, they both made it down the aisle, which I guess is an accomplishment because Kwame was talking about he has cold feet. He wasn't even a speculation. He said point blank, I have cold feet. They made it down the aisle, okay? It comes to the vows part. Kwame wants to wing it. How could you, okay.
So here's to jumping off together to the cliff of the eternal universe, not knowing where we will land, but in each other's arms.
We get stronger by the moment. We get closer by the day. I love when we disagree because it makes us come back together and let us know how strong we are.
These are vows. These are vows? I want to know if he talks like this to every loved one, because based off the conversation with the mom, based off the conversation with the sister, the siblings, and now the vows, I'm like, okay, so this is just Kwame. This is to each their own, because this will not fly with me. I'd be like, why are you sounding hella professional in front of loved ones? Like, what the? Anyways, Chelsea says yes. Kwame, we don't know. So we're gonna find out this Friday. I'm gonna let you know what the plan is with the watch party. I do want to watch it in the morning just so I can get the video out by the afternoon. But some of you guys were saying that you will be at work and you want to be in the watch party, you're gonna miss it. So it might have to be a rewatch situation, or we do it later in the day after I've already posted the review. Because you know I gotta post the same day. It's the finale episode. Come on, y'all. And the reunion is on Sunday. I'll let y'all know. Look at your notifications, look at my community page, look at Discord, and that'll tell you what the plan is. But until then, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.